Hello, welcome back, Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classics / Non-Classics. This is episode number 236 and Doubleshot number 169. Okay, now we got two Star Wars books for you. First up, Lando, the 5-issue miniseries, written by Charles Shaw, artwork by Alex Maleev, and the colors, there's a third name on here, done by Paul Mounts. Let's show you a sample of this artwork. Yeah, Alex Maleev is a very good artist. Now, I should point this out. Alex Maleev is the current artist of International Iron Man. And for some reason, some people are not liking his artwork for that series. I have read the 2 issues that have come out for this series, and I'm thinking, though, what's your problem with the artwork? It's actually really good. I mean, doesn't matter that the artwork is kind of dark. It doesn't really matter as long as it's good artwork. And for the first issue, people were complaining. I heard one person complained that the artwork was terrible. I read the first issue of International Iron Man. That was actually really good artwork. So I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? You must pick the wrong book to think that it had terrible artwork. But despite that, back to this. That's my rant about the Alex Maleev artwork on International Iron Man. I like it. I don't know why anyone else doesn't. But anyways, Lando. Basically, series about Lando. Yep. This was actually a really good miniseries, and it takes place just prior to the events of Empire Strikes Back. I would say probably about 2 years at most. Because he's not the Baron, Baron Administrator of Cloud City yet, and he probably does know Han. And Lobot does make an appearance in this particular miniseries, which is nice. The fact Lobot appears in here. I think Lobot is actually Lando's best friend, even just like how Han's his friend, but he's not his best friend. Lobot is, and his love interest is a Imperial governor. Who and he's basically kind of like, some people might think of him as sort of like a black version of Han Solo, but he really is. He's basically his own character. But unlike Han, he's actually good at charming women, a lot better than he is, and also he's a better gambler than Han is. So this is actually a really good miniseries, and I highly recommend it. There's a couple of really weird characters, and it's also one of the best things about this miniseries. It also tells a little bit of history with the Sith, which I thought was really nice. The Emperor makes an appearance in here for about a couple issues of this miniseries, but his importance in this miniseries is not very big. It's like, right now he's just a regular character in the Darth Vader series, well, regular reoccurring character in that series. This one just appears for a couple issues. The only reason why he's here is because Lando stole his personal pleasure craft. That's the only reason why. And the Red Guard. As a matter of fact, in one of the issues, they actually have, let's see where's that cover. Let me see here. Remember these guys? Yeah, they actually appear in the series. But only about 2 of them, and they kill pretty easily. There's a couple of these sort of Black Panther rip-off characters who basically look like they're both male. They could be brothers or something like that. And it also kind of implied they're possibly gay. They haven't really defined exactly what these 2 characters are. Let me show you them. They're very weird characters. These 2 characters right here. Yeah, they didn't really heavily. It's like Scholl didn't focus a lot. It's like Charles Scholl didn't have a lot of focus on these 2 characters. They looked very Black Panther-esque. Now, I think that they're Black Panther ripoffs, and he just probably threw them in there just because he wanted characters that look like Black Panther, probably because he's a fan of Black Panther. I don't know. I never met the guy. But, still a good miniseries, though, and I give it a 9 out of 10. Great miniseries. Highly recommend it. This next one, a lot of people are questioning, really? They give this character a miniseries? Lando made sense because he's actually a pretty cool character. Chewbacca. This trade collects all 5 issues of this miniseries. It's written by Gary Duggan, and the artwork is by Phil Nato. Now, here's the interesting, despite the fact the series is called Chewbacca, he's a supporting character in his own series. You see this little girl in the front? She's the real main character of this series. Now he just crashed on this planet, and he just happened to get involved with this sort of minor dispute and frees them and takes the person who's sort of basically supposed to be their, I don't know, negotiator or something like that. He wants to get rich, and he basically later on tries to sell him to slavery. I'm like, really? And Chewbacca himself is a former slave. And I'm thinking, though, he is probably upset about this as well. So she basically kind of hires him on the spot after he saves her life to basically free her people. Now, she says she has no interest in joining the rebellion. She just wanted to protect her people. Okay, fine. They do say her name. It's like they don't get much for the character in this series. I mean, yes, it's just a miniseries for Chewbacca. Him just on his own. And, of course, later on, he shows back up in Star Wars. The writing is nice in here. It's almost like when you finish, feels like, what was the whole point of this miniseries? The story is still pretty good overall. Let me show you some artwork. Yeah, the Phil Nato artwork is actually really good. I really do enjoy his artwork. I do think he's a good artist, but for a lot of people, this was a series that was completely unnecessary, and for some people who look at Star Wars canon, this miniseries comes right after Princess Leia, despite the fact it takes place right after issue 3 of Star Wars. Excuse me. Yep. And as a matter of fact, there's an issue of the miniseries where Chewbacca shows up, and I've had a review of the second trade that probably takes place just after the conclusion of this very miniseries. That's my guess, despite the fact that this miniseries, I think, came out around the same time as I know it came out right after this miniseries wrapped up. Like, if you read the final issue of Lando, this miniseries came next. That's basically how they set it up. It's like this miniseries came next, and unlike Lando, which had an interesting story, this had an okay story, but this was a miniseries that was completely necessary. I'm sure that this is probably one of Marvel's lowest selling miniseries they've ever done. It's not a terrible miniseries. It's just that there wasn't much here for people who are longtime Star Wars fans. But I do recommend this basically people who are Star Wars fans are curious, and this book is canon. The villain in the series is just very boring at best. The only interesting character in here is just Chewbacca and the little girl. So I get the series. I get this one a 8 out of 10. Alright, stay tuned for the next episode, which should be my 170th double shot and episode 237, excuse me. But until then, see you there. Bye.